This is the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, Huawei's latest flagship phone in the Mate series. The new Mate 20 Pro runs on the new Kirin 980 chipset, which is based on the new 7nm architecture. Similar to the iPhone XS, its new octa-core processor is also supplemented by a neural processing unit for its AI capabilities. It runs on Android Pie 9.0 along with Huawei's EMUI skin on top of it. There's also a non-Pro version of the Mate 20, of which we'll discuss the differences later on. The design of the phone is what we've come to expect from 2018 smartphones, with curved glass on the front and rear, sandwiching an aluminium frame, similar to what we've seen from other Android phones this year. The Mate 20 Pro comes in 3 colors: black, the Twilight from the P20, and the new Emerald Green. The glass back enables for wireless charging, and this time they have incorporated a new tech called the hyper-optical pattern, basically micro ridges on the glass that gives you extra grip on the phone. This is however only seen on the Emerald Green version. With wireless charging also comes Huawei's new reverse wireless charging. It's the technology enabling you to charge another phone with your Huawei Mate 20 Pro. The Mate 20 Pro sports a 3120 by 1440 OLED HDR display measuring 6.39 inches. There's a notch at the top and a minimal chin on the bottom. The Mate 20 Pro also unlocks with a new in-screen fingerprint sensor. Under the hood, the Mate 20 Pro has 6GB of RAM and internal storage of 128GB. This is expandable up to 256GB via Huawei's new Nano memory card. The Nano memory card is the same size as a Nano SIM and will slot into the second SIM tray. As seen from the leaks, the cameras here are housed in a square module instead of being stacked on top of each other. The triple camera system is brought over from the P20 Pro, although there are some differences. The 3 cameras here each cover a different field of view. The main camera has 40 megapixels with a standard field of view. The 8 megapixel telephoto is carried over from the P20, and there's a new inclusion of an ultra wide angle lens on the third 20 megapixel camera, replacing the dedicated monochrome camera from the P20 Pro. Portrait mode in the camera is updated here. Apart from the usual background blur adjustments, users are now able to change the shape of the bokeh produced and have multiple portrait lighting options available. There are a slew of AI features that Huawei is boasting with their camera technology, the most useful one being High Vision, in which the AI is able to identify an object, location, or food that is placed in front of it, and there's also AI-powered real-time translation, which is very useful for travelers. Although a point to note is that an internet connection is required for these to work. With all this performance, the Mate 20 Pro has a massive 4200 mAh battery to keep it running. Based on what I've tested, the phone has no problem lasting all day. In order to charge this huge battery, Huawei is introducing their supercharge technology, which uses a 40-watt charger to charge this phone. There's an obvious lack of a headphone jack, and if you noticed, there are no speaker grills as well. This phone is rated for IP68 water and dust resistance, and it employs a new invisible speaker design, which uses the USB-C port at the bottom as the speaker outlet. Now we're going to discuss the differences between the Mate 20 Pro and the Mate 20. So the Mate 20 is a lower spec version, but it sports a larger 6.59-inch LCD display with a dewdrop notch at the top. With the cheaper display option, it also does not support an in-screen fingerprint sensor. There's no glass back on this one, so there is no wireless charging capability. The triple camera system remains on the Mate 20, but the camera resolutions have some slight differences. Battery size is also reduced to 4000 mAh instead of 4200, and charging will be slightly slower with a 22.5 watt charger instead. The headphone jack sees a place on the Mate 20, but this removes its IP68 water and dust resistance. Do read our article on the key differences between the Mate 20 and Mate 20 Pro in the link below. The new Huawei Mate 20 and Huawei Mate 20 Pro will be available in Singapore on 27 October onwards, at a recommended retail price of $998 and $1,348 respectively. With the Mate 20 and Mate 20 Pro, Huawei is raising the bar on performance expected from its smartphones, and considering the slightly disappointing releases from their competitors, Huawei might be the new leader in the smartphone market.